Alright, so the reason I left last night is because I had to go fill in for a coworker at my job. So sorry. So, we were trying to figure out how we can make an automatic scrap factory system. Alright, so I need more time to engineer this. Oh yeah, right. Okay, so apparently... What? I don't know, but I like them because the one they look like a pentagon, but then they're triangles. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Alright. Sorry, car, train. Tsar Bomba, world's nuke, one of man's most devastating bomb. This weapon is probably, Tsar Bomba is probably man's most devastating weapon. I mean, like, in like destructive power. Maybe not in like kill power, because that would probably be like outranked by like viruses or bio weapons. But it's like, man, you ain't messing around when you come to the Tsar Bomba, dude. Oh my god, stop destroying my soil! Okay, so stop uncalled cars, stop all cars, and stop all cars, load, stop cars. Loading the wait, load, stop cars. This aluminum deposit or laterite deposit is starting to reach the end of its life.
Seen from 1,000 kilometers away. This is the world's largest nuclear device ever created and tested. The Tsar Bomba, the emperor of the bombs. During World War II, the United States detonated 2 atomic bombs over the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That marked the first use of nuclear weapons in war. Tens of thousands were killed in the initial explosions, and many more would later succumb to radiation poisoning. Since then, the world has recognized the terror and destruction of atomic weapons. The bomb on Hiroshima, the little boy, released an energy equivalent of 15,000 tons of TNT.
And then the next one released 21.
The Nagasaki bomb released an energy equivalent of 21,000 tons of TNT. The Tsar Bomba was equivalent to 58 megatons,
which is 58 million tons.
The Tsar Bomba was an aerial hydrogen bomb known as a thermonuclear weapon. The bomb was 8 meters long, had a diameter of nearly 2.6 meters, and a weight of more than 27 tons, the weight of 5 elephants. Inside the weapon, a small atomic bomb is shaped like a sphere at the top of the casing. The top of the sphere contains conventional chemical explosives,
and then they detonate.
The beryllium mirror casing.
I think if I'm not wrong, they fuse nuclear material, and when it comes, it fuses together so fast that it makes a nuke. It makes an explosion.
Which is a small plutonium sphere, about 4 to 6 inches in diameter. Below this atomic bomb is the hydrogen or fusion bomb. It consists of a cylinder made of uranium.
That's the fusion. That's
the fusion reaction. Lithium deuteride. At the core of the cylinder sits a road of plutonium. In between the fission and the fusion is an encasement.
Wonder how many people died trying to put that thing together.
This video is
the nuclear material on that suckers.
Ground News is the world's first news compare. This video has an answer to outlets report on a so big it couldn't even fit in the internal fuselage of the enormous plane. The bomb was mounted on the outside of the aircraft. The plane was painted brightly white to lessen the impact of the megabomb flash. The aircraft, piloted by Andrei Nernovtsev, took off from the Kola Peninsula. It was joined by an observer plane to measure the impact of the bomb.
My God, and they said, the Soviets said, listen, you have a 50% chance that you are going to die. And that you will never see your families. Because this bomb was so freaking big that it almost took out the plane, but the people who dropped it survived. And got a chilling photo.
AM Moscow time, Tsar Bomba was dropped over the Midyushika Bay test site on the deserted island of Novaya Zemlya. The bomb was equipped with a special parachute that would slow its fall, allowing the plane to fly a safe distance from the blast. Barometric sensors set the bomb to detonate 4 kilometers above the ground. The barometric sensor detects the final altitude. 32 bridge wire detonators release an electric spark to detonate the chemical bomb. The chemical bomb detonates.
Yeah, you have to build a nuke. Let's go. I like how you can tell how to. Let's go. How to build firearms. No, wait. It's, yeah, on YouTube. Like, bruh. Let's go. I mean, in my mind, I think if I had enough time and I had enough material, not that I would want to do it, but I could probably assemble one of these bad boys or direct a team to put one together. It's a little difficult, but I kind of know that I kind of know how, you know, they work. And knowing how they work is key to actually engineering one. So yeah, you need conventional explosives, like C4 is like a conventional explosive. It's like, you know, like a non-nuclear weapon, like, or chemical explosions. And then you need to, that powers the nuke. And then it sets off a nuclear reaction called nuclear fusion. Now, nuclear fusion is an extremely unstable process, and it explodes if you try to do it, thus making the nuclear bomb possible. I just vastly oversimplified it. You have to do more research to really kind of understand what cooks in these things.
Causes compression inside the plutonium and releases bursts of neutrons. One atom of plutonium is hit by a neutron, splits into two,
And then it splits and it splits.
producing 2 or 3 additional neutrons. Each of these goes on to react or split other plutonium atoms, thus maintaining a chain reaction that produces a high level of heat, higher than even that at the center of our sun, 100 million degrees Celsius. The center of the sun is 15 million degrees Celsius. The temperature results in an atomic explosion. The fission explosion creates high-energy gamma rays and X-rays, which heat up the styrofoam and turns it into plasma. The heat of the plasma compresses the fusion cylinder of the lithium deuteride to react. This compresses the fusion cylinder, causing the lithium deuteride to react and form helium and more neutrons. The neutrons cause the uranium casing and plutonium rod to undergo more fission reactions. This causes more pressure on lithium.
Basically, it's like packing multiple explosion. If you pack an explosion and you set one off, it explodes. This heat causes the other explosions to explode, and that heat causes more. This is known as a chain reaction. A reaction in which when you perform it once, it sustains itself for a longer period of time.
This produces more fusion, which releases more neutrons, which causes more fission. The positive feedback loop fission-fusion reaction goes back and forth until a huge explosion occurs, ripping everything apart. Amazingly, all these events happen in only 600 billionths of a second. That produced a mushroom cloud more than 60 kilometers high.
A fireball over 5 miles wide. Shattered glass far away is 100 kilometers. Sent 3 shockwaves around the Earth.
More than 160 kilometers away were reportedly damaged. In addition, it was estimated that heat from the blast would have caused third-degree burns up to 100 kilometers distant. Despite its incredible destructive power, the Tsar Bomba was never actually used in combat. It was designed as a warning to the West during the Cold War and served its purpose well. The Tsar Bomba showed everyone just how destructive nuclear weapons can be, and served as a reminder of the devastation that could be caused if they were never used in war. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when I make a new video. Thank you for watching this. Video. I hope you learned a lot, and I will see you next time.
Alright everyone, our My Medic outlet store is now up and running, so whether you're buying...
God. Man catchers? What? What the heck is... Wait,
How you going?
what is that? Man catchers. Is it apparently like this tool that you catch people with? I don't know, I'm trying to find something. Top 10 worst creepypastas from Nickelodeon. Dude, some of them are just straight up cringe, bruh. I swear to God. It's Phantom Strider again.
Are so bad, so unfathomably awful, that they cross the line from being terrible to hilarious. And today, I thought we'd look at some of these crappy pastas based on the world of Nickelodeon.
Crappy pastas. That's a better name for them.
Creepypasta master, Hoodlum's Revenge.
Hey, Strider. It's great to be back. As always.
Oh, Dennis, you're a welcome sight, old friend. I'm already winning.
Okay, what was I doing again?
And of course, if any of the authors of these stories are watching, please do not take our review to heart. We are only criticizing these stories and not you as people. Keep writing.
Absolutely. We're just here for some light-hearted fun. And thank you if your stories have given us some laughs today. And a quick note, I did shorten some of these stories so that they fit into the video. But I tried to leave all the important parts in. Horrific spelling errors and all. If you'd like to see the original stories, links are in the description. Anyway, let's begin the 10 worst Nickelodeon crappy masters. Number 10.
I am a huge fan of Friends. Every single episode had the reboot, the reboots of not anymore, right? It was very fun. It was better than the original version, but I still like the original version. But however, I found a lost Rugrats VHS called Tommy Dies. Oh wait, where did you find that? You never told us. I inserted it. It started with problems. The video finally started while I was eating waffle. It started with the intro, but when Tommy spreaded the milk bottle, it spreaded hyper-realistic blood. Can't go on Spoopy Creepypasta story without it.
The episode script. Tommy, I will go. How does Tommy speak? Okay, how does Tommy speak? I will go see mommy and daddy because I'm tired.
Wait, does it play a song? That's cool, it plays a song.
I can't get his voice. He's got this sort of sing-song tone. Tommy's mom and dad. Oh my god, Tommy, you are ugly and we hate you so much, so get out. So go sleep. We're strong in bed tonight and you are going to sleep outside. Tommy gets urgent. He tries to tell his friend.
Do the thing, do the thing, do the song. That adds a really cool layer of mechanism to the mechanism. If the mechanism is a mechanism.
Guys,
Listen.
my parents are trying.
Dylan, Chucky, live. Oh my god, well that good you deserve for being a spoiled brat. And you were so annoying, so get out. We are not going to listen to you.
Oh my god.
Talking, no playing with us, and no rectar bars, so you are not going to eat them anymore until you learn how to act like a grown-up, because you are still wearing diapers. Sick bird. Tommy, about to cry. He has tears and hyper-realistic blood comes out of his head because Chucky just punched him in the nose and beat him up.
Tommy can be seen going near the road.
What do you want, you stupid spoiled brat talking biatch? You must die, so get out before I stab you with this.
Oh my god. What are creepypastas these days? Oh wait, hold on, I didn't put that there, it won't work.
Ran over.
Oh my god! Why are creepypastas so brutal?
And Tommy is dead and broke his legs.
What? Stop.
Flew into the air. The Klasky Kasupo logo ate the screen and spread it hyper-realistic blood.
Hyper real.
It's now also like destroying the tape that shredded it. I see. Good to know, Walker.
Well, I don't know about you, but I feel greatly enlightened from this experience.
Wait, really? Oh, what was it called? After our night creepypasta? Bloody SpongeBob. Alright, I get to get on my storyteller voice. Warning, this story is not
Under 11 and up. So, is it just not for people that are 11? Okay, actually, I just realized I want to. What's it called? I want to react to the periodic videos. Dude, this guy. How old is this guy? Dude, I hope he lives as long as he does, like as he can, because honestly, he is such a legend. This dude is a chem legend. He's like the god of chemistry. He's like Mendeleev, but reincarnated. He has an entire, let's see, all chemical elements in order. First one is hydrogen. Hydrogen. I'm gonna react. I'm gonna tell you everything I know. Hydrogen. Actually, we got some right here. Hydrogen is a. That's called. It's a. It's a gas, not a noble gas, but it's #1 on the periodic table. It's the lightest and most common of the elements, making up 80% of the known universe. It is very, very buoyant. It's extremely lighter than air, meaning that you can effectively make something that floats with it. However, it is extremely combustible and flammable, and can and will burn under the right conditions. If you don't believe me, just look up the Hindenburg. That didn't go too well.
We're braving the elements, Brady, to repeat the experiment that we did quite some time ago. So you'll remember we had a very small balloon of hydrogen. Match on a stick to hydrogen. Big bang coming.
You ready?
Yep. Here we go.
Oh, and it explodes red.
Outside might actually give you an idea about what we're going to do, because we're going to make it a little bit bigger. So let's go and fill a balloon. Alright, cool.
Well, hydrogen I think is very important because
Hydrogen is a very good, interesting.
the atom consists of a
You can make hydrogen at home. It can performing the reaction known as electrolysis or electrolysis, whatever. It's a very, very easy reaction to perform. Anybody can do this. All you need is a plastic dish. You need a battery, 2 tacks, and a few wires. Now you need to take the tacks, put the positive wire and connect it to 1 tack and the negative to 1 tack and hit those to the battery, and it will form oxygen and hydrogen gas. Don't worry, this is not a toxic experiment. This is it is flammable. However, it does generate like a ton of heat, of hydrogen. You know it works when it starts bubbling. You can stick your hands in the water and it will not electrocute you if you're doing this with like a 9-volt battery.
positively charged proton, which is relatively large, and the negatively charged electron that goes round it.
Electric match.
That's a big.
I think an electric match will go well on that. Yeah. Oh, look at the tension on the balloon. Hold it.
Oxygen and H2 plus O2 reacts to form H2O and an oxygen atom, and then that oxygen atom goes on to react with another hydrogen molecule to make more water, and the reaction generates a lot of heat, and that heat heats up more gas to make it react faster. So you generate more and more heat, so the reaction that begins quite slowly with the first few molecules runs away, and that's why you get the explosion.
So here we have a rather large balloon of hydrogen. Neil is just preparing our electric match, which we're going to attach to the side of this balloon.
And some of the biggest explosions of the 20th century, the Chernobyl reactor, the space shuttle that blew up when it was taking off, were in fact explosions caused by hydrogen and oxygen.
So we filled
Because
the balloon of hydrogen.
those two elements,
And I think if you look,
if I'm not wrong, okay, I think this is the story of the found of how water is found to be containing oxygen, and hydrogen, is that they were trying to mix hydrogen and oxygen because they are two very flammable elements. These things burn extremely fast, so they wanted to mix them to make more burn. When they mix it, they accidentally got water. just water. Or you can, if you add another oxygen atom to that, you can get H2O2, hydrogen peroxide.
So,
Dilute it, and you have a really good medical liquid that is used to sterilize any medical wound.
Oxygen and H2 plus O2 reacts to form H2O and an oxygen atom, and then that oxygen atom goes on to react with another hydrogen molecule to make more water. And the reaction generates a lot of heat, and that heat heats up more gas to make it react faster. So you generate more and more heat, so the reaction that begins quite slowly with the first few molecules
Runs away.
and that's why you get the explosion.
so here we have a rather large balloon.
Explosion caused by hydrogen and oxygen.
So we filled up a balloon of hydrogen. And I think if you look at the hydrogen balloon, now we're going to try and inflate it or burn the hydrogen in the air by giving it a match. And the match we're going to use is again an electric match, which is connected to our detonator box.
If you stick a pin in the balloon will burst because the rubber will break, but the hydrogen will come out and it won't react with the oxygen because the hydrogen is cool, it's at the same temperature as the air. But the reaction of hydrogen and oxygen, like many reactions, involves a so-called activation energy. You have to put in a certain amount of energy to get it going.
My God. Okay. I have to say, this guy's office, there are more books in that than are on some shelves in my library. There's a lot of books in his background. His office is so messy, and that's what a good office space is, because you know he's busy and hard at work. Dude, he's like the stereotypical, he looks like a stereotypical mad scientist. This guy is amazing. If I could, I'd meet him.
Then you put in to start it off.
So, let's arm the circuit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was all right.
Lovely.
When Pete puts the match to the balloon, first of all, the match burns a hole in the balloon, and then the heat gets the hydrogen and oxygen near the outside of the balloon, and they start reacting, and the heat then spreads through the volume of the hydrogen and oxygen faster probably than the balloon is bursting, and as it spreads through, the temperature builds up and up and up because you're generating so much heat.
Speaking of hydrogen,
The reason that
got a load of hydrogen
hear,
right there.
A noise is because it causes a rise in pressure, which sends a pressure wave out through the air, and it hits your ears or the microphone on your camera. I honestly don't know why we see any colour. I suspect that the colour may actually be caused by the burning balloon, which contains carbon and is really like a flame on a candle. Because normally when you have a hydrogen-oxygen flame, you don't see any colour at all. Alternatively, it may be some impurities in the gas, but I suspect that what you're seeing with the fireball is just the burning of the balloon. The other thing which is really quite exciting about hydrogen...
And that balloon got vaporized too.
In principle, if you heat hydrogen to really high temperatures, you can get two hydrogen atoms to fuse together. Or rather, it will not work with hydrogen, but it will work with a heavier form of hydrogen, which is known as deuterium.
Deuterium, and the rare form is tritium.
The electron.
Tritium is extremely rare.
Neutron, which is a neutral particle, and an electron. And two molecules of deuterium can fuse together to make one atom of helium.
Oh,
which
never
has
mind.
2 protons, 2 neutrons, and 2 electrons. And this produces a lot of energy. It is the basis
Of fusion
so-called
bombs,
hydrogen bombs,
I think.
which are
Yeah.
like superatomic bombs, but which require an enormously high temperature to get the reaction. There is great hope that in the end, much of the world's energy crisis can be solved by doing this so-called nuclear fusion of deuterium to make helium, which would produce energy extremely cleanly.
So here, we'll just tie it off. My Welsh hands can actually tie a knot on the end of the balloon because we're all a little bit bizarre.
Deuterium gas, in all its properties, will be very similar to that of the hydrogen. Of course, it is more denser because it has a neutron as well as a proton, but it's still much lighter than air. So a deuterium balloon will still float up to the ceiling and make Pete look just as stupid as a hydrogen one.
Gotta keep hold of it.
Well, you lose it, you know?
It floats. Yeah, hydrogen is very buoyant.
No, fusion...
Dude, you know what I really wonder? Okay, if pressure... if you take a pool and you put hydrogen balloon at the bottom and you let it go, I wonder how fast it'd go up into the air. Dude, that thing would like cannon shot, provided that the water pressure doesn't destroy the balloon.
Way beyond what Pete can do, unless he's a lot cleverer than I think.
Listen, I got a balloon. I had a balloon of hydrogen.
That's the second time you've done that.
But it's gonna go up there eventually.
Bleeding gums? Start healing them from day one.
Sounds like a skill shoot to me.
In fact, there are 117 more videos to watch.
He's displacing the oxygen in his lungs.
The second element, periodic table. It makes up 35% of our universe, but it's very rare here on planet Earth. In fact, it's the only element of the periodic table that was first discovered outside our planet. The first indication of its existence came when people were looking at the spectrum of the sun during an eclipse in 1868, the year before Mendeleev proposed the periodic table, and they noticed a single, very bright yellow line. The yellow line is due to the electrons helium atom being excited. You can do the same thing here on Earth. In fact, Neil has his own helium star. This is the last star filled with helium gas. And if you apply very high voltage, you can excite the electrons in the helium and it emits light. And then with this whole spectroscope, you look at it and see the very yellow line detected in the sun spectrum. To begin with, they thought it was so good.
Hey, I saw that! I did that in my chem class.
Because of the time of the sun, it was given the name helium from the Greek word helios, which is, I believe, what the sun is called, or the god of the sun is called. It was then discovered on Earth at the beginning of the 20th century, when people were examining the uranium mineral called, I think, Cleveland. Then, a few years later, very rapidly, helium gas was discovered as a component of natural gas coming out of gas fields in the United States. The reason why we find helium associated with uranium, and in fact other
It's because it's alpha decay.
materials, is because the nucleus of helium contains 2 neutrons and 2 protons. And the naked nucleus of helium is what are called alpha particles that are emitted during radioactive decay. So if a radioactive atom decays and emits an alpha particle underground, the alpha particle quickly picks up a couple of electrons and becomes an atom of helium. And over millions of years, this can accumulate in gas fields. As far as I'm aware, all of the helium in the world has come from radioactive decay, apart from a small amount that has come from people letting off hydrogen bombs.
The width of the fireball at this time, about 3 seconds after detonation, was 4 miles.
Helium in the natural gas was discovered fairly shortly before the First World War. And so it was quickly realized that this gas could be useful for observation balloons on the Western Front, on the battlefields.
The enemy's troop movements and defense schemes are under constant observation by French and British airmen, as well as by observation balloons.
Because unlike hydrogen, it
Helium doesn't burn.
So
It's a
doesn't immediately
noble gas. It's not reactive.
Helium started to be produced as a strategic material.
Non-explosive gas for dirigibles. America has a virtual monopoly of it, helium.
So there's a long history in the United States of legislation for conserving helium for strategic defense purposes.
The subject has, of course, attracted great attention all over the world because of the terrible Hindenburg disaster. The American President's Cabinet Committee is convinced that helium should now be made available to Germany for use in commercial airships.
So a helium nucleus, a helium atom, weighs 4 times as much as a hydrogen atom, which has just 1 proton. But because hydrogen exists as an H2 molecule, helium atom, which is the same as its molecule, weighs twice as much as a hydrogen molecule. And Neil, our colleague, has devised quite a nice little demonstration where he has a balloon of hydrogen and a balloon of helium of about the same size, and shows that the hydrogen balloon with a suitable pulley system can actually pull the helium balloon downwards, because there's a lot more lift in the hydrogen balloon than in the helium one, because the hydrogen is lighter. The most important property for helium nowadays...
There's an Astroneer field I can exploit.
That when you liquefy it forms the coldest liquid that one can obtain. Liquid helium boils at minus 269 degrees centigrade, that is 4 degrees above absolute zero. So you can use liquid helium to cool materials down. And particularly, you can cool certain alloys and metals which lose all their electrical resistance at low temperature, so-called superconductors, which can be used to build really powerful magnets, particularly for our university for magnetic resonance imaging, for looking inside people's bodies.
You have got to be kidding me.
All is well, and you need a very high magnetic field. And so our university has a plant for liquefying helium, and Brady and I were able to go and visit it. We were shown how the liquid helium is filled into large thermos flasks, so-called duo flasks. When you want to pump the helium out, remarkably, you use the inside of a rugby football. This is the bladder inside it. A rugby football is quite similar to an American football. And by squeezing this, you can pressurize the helium and get it to come out. And if you do it wrong, it blows up to a large size, the bladder hole. And we were shown what happened. I was a bit frightened, it might go bang. We were then shown what happens when you squirt liquid helium into air. And it's really strange, because as the liquid comes out, the jet of liquid looks very like a flame. the shape is almost the same, though of course it's whitish in colour. Neil had given us a small metal stainless steel thermos can. It's very important it's stainless steel because helium can go through glass. So if you use a glass thermos, as soon as you put helium into it, it stops being a thermos vessel. Neil wanted us to try and see if we could fill this can with liquid helium so we could actually show you what the liquid looked like. We had a number of attempts, and the most spectacular eruptions of cold helium vapor. The problem is that helium vapor that comes off is so cold that it not only freezes all the water vapor in the air, so you get a fog, but it can also liquefy the oxygen or nitrogen in the air. So even though we pre-cooled the thermos with liquid nitrogen, so we started at a fairly low temperature, it was quite difficult to get the liquid in. And once we got it in, there was so much fog that it was quite difficult to tell whether we were really seeing the surface of the liquid or not. But it was great fun. Brady and I really enjoyed ourselves, and the technician, Sanjeev, was really helpful. He even tried filling a much bigger vessel with liquid helium and pouring it into our thermos.
Imagine putting your hand in that, dude. That would freeze it instantly.
People use liquid helium seriously, for example, for magnetic resonance imaging. Because the gas is expensive, it is piped back to the liquefaction plant so it can be recycled. And you've all seen little helium balloons that people use at parties and the like. But at the liquefaction plant, they have an enormous yellow balloon which they use for storing the gas before it's liquefied. And they have gas meters to measure the volume of gas coming back so that they know how much gas has been lost and how much they have to charge each customer for the gas that they've lost. I used to work with liquid helium a long time ago, and I still have the very old gas meter that we use, which is just over there on the filing cabinet.
Wow. Next is lithium.
This video, we actually filmed a lot more stuff about helium that we haven't fit.
I want you to take all stress out of the user experience. Let's have the app ready when I'm back.
That's a problem.
Lithium is the lightest metal. We all know that sodium is pretty light as a metal. If you drop it onto water and forget the reaction, it floats.
To the orange sodium clay. Oh, it's on your camera. Oh, it is too.
Of course, lithium will do the same, though there are differences which I'll show you in a minute. But what I wanted to see was whether we could demonstrate how much lighter lithium was than sodium. We've never tried this experiment before, but I asked Neil, our technician, to drop a piece of sodium and a piece of lithium of approximately the same size at the same time into beakers of hexane. Hexane is similar to gasoline or petrol, and when he dropped them, it was really striking. The sodium sank like a stone because gasoline is much less dense than water, but lithium bobbed around like a little boat. If you look carefully, they both started bubbling because we didn't use dry hexane.
Dude, don't drop it in water.
Hexane contained just a little bit of water that started reacting, and of course that prompted Neil to want to drop the lumps of metal into real water. So we tried the experiment again, dropping lithium and sodium into water. Of course, this time, both of them is less reactive towards water than sodium. It's a smaller atom. The electrons
Smaller, yeah. It's kind of more.
slower.
It's got less oomph though.
It was really quite surprising. It went off with a real bang.
Yeah, that's why you don't drop that in water.
And the beaker ended up in the back of the fume cupboard. And the sodium was gone. And the lithium quietly buzzed around on the surface of the water, and when Neil encouraged it with a flame, we got a beautiful red colour, the characteristic
Knew it.
flame
Lithium
colour.
burns red.
The other experiment we tried was burning lithium in air and comparing it with burning lithium in nitrogen. N2 has the strongest bond between any two atoms of the same sort periodic. So you need a lot of energy to break them apart. Because lithium is small, it can form very tight bonds with nitrogen. And so I read frequently that lithium will burn in nitrogen. So I persuaded Neil to set fire to some lithium, and it burned really brightly in air, and then poured liquid nitrogen into a beaker to fill it up with nitrogen gas. Nitrogen boils at minus 200 degrees centigrade, minus 196. So the gas was pretty cold in the beaker, and then he plunged the burning lithium into the beaker. Now here, there was a difference of opinion between me and Neil. I thought the reaction was a great success. Neil was a bit disappointed because the lithium just glowed red. What I saw was this is not a very big piece of metal being plunged into really cold gas, and it kept on glowing red, on and on and on. Whereas if it had just been put out because it wasn't reacting with nitrogen, it would have lost its colour very quickly. So I felt that it was a reasonable demonstration. I've tried to do the same demonstration with magnesium, which is also meant to burn in nitrogen. I successive generations of students in once. I knew it wouldn't work, but every time the students thought, stupid professor.
Oh my god, there's a lot of script.
It's used for treating bipolar disorder, sometimes called manic depression. This is a very distressing disease which is caused by an imbalance of chemicals in the brain, which causes people sometimes to be really manic, other times so depressed that they can't get out of bed. The application which you use probably most often for lithium is in batteries. This is not a new idea. I found an old scientific note from 1967, and inside there is an advertisement here with a picture of Edison's desk. On his desk, when he died, was a large can of lithium. This is an advertisement for the company that sells lithium, sold lithium in those days. The reason that Edison had lithium on his desk was that he realized it could potentially make really good batteries.
Is that the known reason, or is that just what Foot Mineral Company is suggesting?
I think that's what they're suggesting. And since he didn't make lithium batteries, it will never make. So there's one final and important application of lithium, which is in making hydrogen bombs. Let me just remind you that an atom bomb is formed by atoms, usually of uranium, though it could also be plutonium, splitting apart. These are called the fission bomb. A hydrogen bomb is inherently different.
The Atomic Energy Commission and the Department of Defense have conducted the important test of an experimental device based on the thermonuclear principle.
Bits come together. So two atoms, for example, two deuterium atoms.
But what is deuterium? I was coming to that. An atom of this kind of hydrogen has the simplest nucleus known. But hydrogen exists in two other isotopic forms. Deuterium, which has a neutron in addition to the proton, and tritium, which has two neutrons and one proton.
Atoms of hydrogen with mass 2, rather than mass 1, come together to form an atom of helium. The first hydrogen bombs that were made, and they really ought to be called deuterium bombs, not hydrogen bombs, involved liquid deuterium. And so the bomb really looked like a small chemical factory because there were big tanks of liquid deuterium, and nobody could imagine carrying this on an aeroplane for actual bombing.
This is the first full-scale test of a hydrogen device. If the reaction goes, we're in the thermonuclear era.
Oh my god.
The breakthrough came when it was realized that you could use the compound for lithium and deuterium. This is lithium deuteride, LID, which is chemically the same as LiH, but with a heavier isotope. What happens with that sort of bomb is that you trigger it with an atom bomb that produces a lot of neutrons. And the neutrons turn some of the lithium atoms into tritium, hydrogen mass 3, and then the deuterium and the tritium fuse together, giving out energy. Lithium deuteride is a solid which is stable at room temperature. In principle, you could make lithium tritiide and but tritium is highly radioactive and decays away with a half-life of 12 years, so you have to keep on replacing your bomb. So you could build a bomb without the huge containers of liquid, and you could make something that's still pretty big, but in principle could go in a giant bomber.
Castle Bravo.
The lithium deuteride bomb was carried out, I think, in 1954.
We feel that the report of this important test should give the failures as well as the successes.
The test name was called Castle Bravo.
The date was March 1, 1954. This photograph was taken from an airplane at 50 miles. The width of the fireball at this time, about 3 seconds after detonation, was 4 miles.
And it was really too successful. The power of the bomb was 3 times bigger than it.
They thought it was gonna be like 5 megatons, and it was 15.
A serious fallout situation at Bikini and 6 other atolls downwind from ground zero.
The residents of the islands nearby could not be evacuated far enough, and several people were exposed to radiation in the most unfortunate manner. But the principle was demonstrated. Of course, the whole technology is horrific, but it's interesting to see how lithium plays a part. But to end on a much happier note, lithium is a light metal. Hydrogen can be used to fuel cars using fuel cells that convert. There's a lot of research to see whether lithium hydride or a derivative of lithium hydride can be used to store hydrogen in the tank of your car.
Unfortunately, terrorists can get hold of it. I've got a molecule of sarin here.
Not real sarin.
Not real sarin, no.
Beryllium.
As a person with a disability, TurboTax makes it easy to get my taxes.
Beryllium is
So you can see on the front of this.
I think you put it. They put a compound of it in your stomach to X-ray it.
It's a special vessel which is made so we can control the atmosphere inside, and it's fabricated from beryllium metal.
This is the beryllium, which I don't really want to get out. Because it's a toxic chemical, toxic metal.
Oh no, man! I think it's barium.
Interesting element, because most chemists don't really know about it very much at all.
So beryllium is a fantastic metal. It's really, really interesting. It's got lots of really quite strange metallic properties, but one of the most important for me is the fact that it's transparent to X-rays, so I can shine X-rays straight through the beryllium, and the beryllium doesn't absorb it at all, which most other metals, especially those with higher molecular weights, do.
But beryllium-laden dust actually has been shown to cause berylliosis, which is actually an industrial lung disease, which causes the formation of swollen nodules in the lungs called granulomas, which is a bit gross. So I don't really want to open up the jar.
It's near the beginning of the periodic table, but we rarely come across it.
So at the moment, we're at Max Lab and we're doing some X-ray experiments. and we're doing some X-ray experiments on a really, really quite sensitive compound. So X-rays themselves are absorbed by everything. Okay, so when we shoot it through the air, it's absorbed in the air. So to measure the X-ray absorption of our compound, which is sensitive to the air, we need to be able to remove the air and encase it. So we use beryllium to make a magic box around our sample that the X-rays can come into, interact with our sample, and then exit without interacting with the material around them. So you can see on the front of this instrument there's a dome-shaped device. That dome is a special vessel which is made so we can control the atmosphere inside, and it's fabricated from beryllium metal.
I talk about in my lectures, I explain that beryllium chloride, the molecule that has 3 atoms, 2 chlorine atoms and 1 beryllium atom, has the 3 atoms arranged in the row. So it's a straight molecule, so-called linear molecule. I've never seen beryllium chloride.
Chemists use it on X-ray diffractometers because actually it's so lightweight. It's actually only got atomic number 4.
The beryllium allows the X-rays to come in without interacting at all. It's a fantastic device. It's really useful for really sensitive chemistry. A really beautiful application. The cost of that beryllium, though, that's significant. That small beryllium sample cost €15,000.
It only has 4 protons and a number of neutrons. So if X-rays fall on atoms of beryllium, they're not scattered very much. So it's like the difference between shining light through a glass window, and if you made it out of a heavier material, it'd be like shining through paper. It would be scattered. You wouldn't get a good image.
I'm hoping to actually do some chemistry with beryllium, which is why I bought it. Yeah, it's pretty toxic, so we're going to have to be very, very careful. You can't actually breathe in the dust at all, because even actually one exposure has shown that some people, one exposure is enough to cause this sort of sensitive reaction.
But beryllium's very poisonous, so if you do use these beryllium windows, you have to be careful not to lick your fingers. Well, good chemists shouldn't lick their fingers anyway.
Yeah, no kidding. Don't lick your fingers as a chemist. That's like, don't eat in the lab, don't lick your fingers, don't do any of that. It's not a good idea. Next is boron. Good. Boron can be made into a ceramic, a bulletproof ceramic.
There he goes. Oh, actually, that's quite spectacular at the end. And my second year actually.
It's number 5.
I love boron far too much. I think I talk about it too much. I love boron. No, I just do lots of chemistry with boron. I've kind of moved away a little bit from boron now, but I really like it.
Boron is an interesting element. It's one of the few that I've actually made myself when I was at school.
Boron sits at the top of group 13. Its atomic number is 5. So it's a metalloid. So metal boron is a metalloid, which basically means it has some of the properties of a non-metal and some of the properties of a metal.
I mixed an oxide of boron with magnesium, heated it up, and then it's a really dramatic reaction. Water at the ends to try and destroy the magnesium borate that's formed, because you get puffs of gas coming off which burst into flames, rather like little anti-aircraft guns. But boron itself was rather disappointing. It's a sort of brown powder.
I mean, it's more of a powdery brown boron. There are several crystalline sort of types of allotropes of boron. There's one actually that's really, really hard. So the black crystalline boron is actually very, very hard. It's just below diamond on Mohs scale of hardness, so I believe. And actually, in America, there's a town called Boron. It's in California. It's got a population of about 2,000, which actually was set up around the world's biggest borax mine, which is in California.
Where it used to be transported on trains of mules, and the company that produced it used to have as their trademark a train of 20 mules sort of going along.
Of great interest to us chemists recently, well, over the last sort of 50, maybe 60, 70 years, have been the boron hydrides or borates. So boron hydrides are basically clusters of borons with clusters with hydrogens around them. And one particular use and interest in the 50s was one called pentaborate, which basically borons in it. And pentaborate was investigated during the Cold War, or the early part of the Cold War, as being a rocket fuel. It actually burns with a green flame. They actually called it the Green Dragon because it burns with a very, very hot green flame.
Wicked name.
It's pretty toxic, which I can actually show you if I so I can ish. It's probably not going to be spectacular.
And boron complexes or borax compounds are used in a variety of things. It's not a very expensive material. It's used in washing powder, particularly for borate, which when you heat it up into the washing machine, when the water gets to 60 degrees centigrade, it turns into hydrogen peroxide, which can then bleach the clothes. And this is why the famous washing powder is called pearl, because the pearl stands for perborate, and S stands for silicate, which
That is so cool.
Okay, so this isn't pentaborane because pentaborane is spontaneous.
Weird, kind of useless facts are cool.
This is just benzene bronic acid. It's an organic compound.
Oh my god, it was right there.
So hopefully we can see. We should be able to see if I can get some.
Whenever we have more titanium now, so I can't argue.
To burn with some sort of green flame. Hey, there it is. Okay, you can also see a bit of yellow, which is the organic bit going as well. That should be alright.
Ah! Man, that goes fast when it. It's pretty. I was gonna trade this for something. I don't know what I was gonna trade it for. I think exo chips? Yeah, exo chips. That sound. Ah, Thingo Burr. I think we got something here. I see. I find a way. I think I got it. I just gotta make sure that. Oh, here's the problems. If I keep spamming this, it's not gonna shred it in time. This is working out. Hi. Okay, so here's the thing. Instead of having this, which fits 2 small items, take one of these bad boys and put 4 medium shredders on it. This is going to consume a lot more energy than usual. However, this produces way more scrap per minute. And this gets offloaded onto here. And then this would load all the scrap onto this. And then I'd find a way to automate this and then store it in a container right here. We're very close to cracking the code between an omni-material factory. It's not that automatic now. Want to commit suicide? Just put hydrogen right there. Forgot what I said. I mean, serious, I forgot what I said. What did I say? I'm a very forgetful person. There is no way Oh wait, I remember. Okay, I remember the hydrazine. Yeah. I'm just gonna. I wonder if that will work, but I'm not gonna do that. Stop. I have anxiety. Oh, whoops. There we go. Material segregation right there. Put that there. What was I gonna make with this steel? Hmm. What is it? Oh, yeah, right, you're coming with me. This is how it works. It's a work in progress, but it'll be done, huh? Thanks. You're welcome, but whatever. I don't know. Initiate send off. And just Ohio rocket, ready? It's just I like how it just goes right through the ground. It just disobeys the laws of physics. Yeah. Dude, control. That is a controller player! That is a controller player! What pennies do I have here? Oh, it's my, it's my dyed pennies. Oh, mind me, I'm dyeing my pennies. See it? I put an R on it. It's very easy. Copper's a malleable metal. I made an armament penny. I kinda know where my goofy steel be going. Oh, it's got opacity on it. Let me see if I can adjust that. Give me a second. Hex cutout. Dude, the hex cutout is so weird. I mean, just look at this. I mean, can I push it a little bit over to the side? This is so weird. Actually, I don't know why this is. I kind of like this because it's really a little bit. The camera's a little bit smaller. I can see. Yeah, that's. Steal. Oh, this isn't Twitch. It's a PS5 feature. Technically, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a septagon, not a hexagon, because it's got this like piece right here. No, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. What I'm about to do is a very bad idea. I'm about to make a mega shredder. This a draw, let's see. 60 power. I don't think we are going to do that. 60 power is insane. For right now. Okay, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to overhype, but if you think this is, you know, what is going to be going on for the rest of the game, oh, we're just getting started. I'm going to turn the entirety of this planet to a core. First of all, you know what? We need to probably stop here and resume on what I like to call the solar belt. Wait a second, we have. Come here, get over here. I just realized something. I have this. You want to see my elevator? I think I've shown you my elevator before, but... Oh, check this out. If you go... I don't know if you noticed, but if you go left... and you go another left... I've hooked it up... Okay, get ready. Sorry for this. Sorry. It induces motion sickness. I'm gonna turn the entire core in... Oh, I'm sorry, that happens. Oh god, I don't get motion sickness, and that's getting me motion sickness. Here's a, I timed it. It takes like 30 seconds to get from my base to this fire right here. Where is the Huh. Oh, there it is. There's the big boy rover. Okay, so have you ever seen Star Wars Force Awakens? Because if you haven't, there's this planet with a giant, like, edge through it. And, we're gonna try to build that. We've already built half of the trench. We just need to get the other half done. And I've been procrastinating that for a while. Okay, search up Star Killer Base. This entire planet I'm building, like Novus, it's gonna be a giant machine. Possibly, I don't want to overhype, but possibly if I get done, one of Astroneer's largest machines ever built. The entire core will be turned into a battery. A solar belt will be erected in the entire planet. It's not gonna be a weapon because I can't do that, but it's really cool. Like, I want it to make it look like Star Killer. It's gonna look like Star Killer when it's done. Because there's no possibility, even if I could destroy planets, it would not be a really good use of my time. Or resources. Okay, so... Ah! Crap, my joint. Okay, so, we're going to start making a lot of... I swear to God, I have a ton of, Okay, there's a few of the containers. One is missing, however. Do not know where it is. Oh, I'm stupid. It's actually not just that, but it's not just, I have one dedicated to hydrazine storage, which is what something I should be doing. Okay, bad news, we don't have any more. I have a good idea. Novus. I've upgraded the 4 shredders. Okay, so I keep getting procrastinated on this. Game yes with a friend if you want to ask. The reason I don't complete the game is not really because I can't, is it because I don't want to. I like doing things and just going off and engineering. It's fun to me. Yeah, I'm gonna do something I should be doing. I'll spend the 4 Astroneer for it. Like Minecraft, it's not like I can't beat the Ender Dragon because I have full maxed out netherite. It's because I just don't care. I just want to play the game. I'll try to get the snails one day. Here's a bunch of scrap I forgot to remove. Okay, time to actually do something really. I should have done that right there a long time ago. Yeah, just clean it. I will say, doesn't look like it, but I've done a lot better on reducing the amount of loose stuff I have. Alright, let's actually get back to work. Not an invisible wall glitch. Up there. Stupid Rose. Oh my god, I can't. I hate how I just keep going up and over like that. That's kind of annoying. Like, see how it's kind of making a ridge? It's because of the dumb camera angle. It looks bad, but we have to smooth it out one day. Are you kidding me? I hate when this stupid wall glitch happens. It just like this random visible wall like blocks me from using my rover and I have to work around it. I think where this compound is. This is where the skewed one is. A skewed path. I was digging this another time, and I made a skewed path. I hate when it ridges like this. Please stop doing this, machine. No. Minutes to 46. So yeah, I like this idea with the light. Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Family member came down here. There goes the geyser. Drills are a little bit wonky when you put them on cranes, but you can work around them really easily. Well, I'm starting to get really skilled with them. Good thing I have this light on. I can actually work in the night and see better. I worked in the night in the other trench, but I could see better with this one. Yeah, we have a lot of space within our containers in order to store this soil. I like my lights, but nothing beats sunlight. Got it. I feel like this might be going a little bit faster than the other one. Never mind. I thought it was a good one, but I wonder if the really big wrecked platforms can be found. And you know how you go on that truck to see those big platforms? I wonder if those can spawn. I've never seen one. It's probably a really rare chance. This trench is gonna have a series of problems. Mainly deformation. Looks like we got a lot of work right here to do.
You